man has a choice. I chose the impossible. I built a city where the artist would not fear the censor, where the great will not be constrained by the small, where the scientist would not be bound by petty morality. I chose to build rapture. But my city was betrayed by the weak. So I ask you, my friend, if your life were the prize, would you kill the innocent? Would you sacrifice your humanity? We all make choices, but in the end, our choices make us.
Alright everybody, KO26 here with Bioshock for the PlayStation 3. This game is also available for the Xbox 360 and PC and the Mac as well. This game was developed by Rational Games and was published by 2K Studios. This game was originally only released for the PC and Xbox 360 back in August 21st, 2007. It was released a little over a year later on October 21st, 2008 for the PS3, and then finally almost a year after that, or a little under a year after that, on October 7th, 2009, it was finally released to the Mac. First off, before anything else, I have to mention that this is not the original Bioshock game. I do own Bioshock and Bioshock 2, but they're not the original Bioshock and Bioshock 2. I actually have a newer, updated version. It was sort of like a bundle. It also came with some stickers and some other neat promotional stuff for Bioshock Infinite when it was coming out, and it's called the Ultimate Rapture Edition. It not only comes with the games, but also comes with a DLC for both of the games. So I thought that was a neat little add-on to it. But that was actually released on January 14th, 2014. And it was only released for the PS3 and Xbox 360. So PC users could not get this version. The only other difference between the two actually is that well, with the release of the game, is that the PS3 version only comes with 1 disc, and the Xbox 360 version comes with 4 discs. You know, because that's what Xbox does. They do one to play, or one to install, one to play. I guess the trade-off for it was that they added some neat artwork to the cover of the 360 version, but it wasn't anything different, you know. But either way, I thought I'd let you know about that in case you guys want to pick up. For those that haven't played yet and aren't able to find the original ones, the Ultimate Rapture Edition is available still, I do believe, and you can pick that up and have both games in your collection. So, yeah, like I do. So before I go through and, you know, talk about them, I kind of want to go over the synopsis a bit. Basically, you play a silent protagonist named Jack, who ends up in a plane crash in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, near a lighthouse. And I do believe the year is 1958. You have been in a plane crash, like I said, and you end up near a lighthouse, which after you enter, you end up going into this little circular sort of it's almost like a submarine, kind of. It's got that same formula to it. It takes you down, and then it takes you, basically it guides you to where it needs to go, and where it takes you is to a place called Rapture, built by a man named Andrew Ryan, who decided to make this place because nobody said he could. He decided to make a place that he would call his own, which had total freedom from the rest of the world, because he didn't believe in being held down by any sort of government, and he believes that people should be free to do as as they so choose to. And freedom ends up taking a huge turn for the worst, because when you make your way down there, on the outside it looks absolutely beautiful, I have to say, but once you get inside, you're dealing with nothing but madness. And I think that maybe Andrew Ryan should have rethought that, but at this point it's too late. He's now dealing with the madness that is Rapture, and so one thing I'm going to spoil a little bit, not too much into detail, but I am going to mention that there are 3 different endings to this game, and I plan on going for one of them, one specific one. But before that, I will mention the other 2. The first being the bad ending. And the way to get that is if you harvest these little sisters which carry Adam, which actually, as it turns out, your character, if he gets enough Adam, he will be able to upgrade himself, with your help, of course, as you're so choosing, in an RPG type fashion. But he's able to upgrade if he has a lot more Adam. And if he happens to harvest little sisters, he gets more than he would by rescuing them. But yes, if you harvest little sisters, you get the bad ending, which is basically you're evil. After you end up defeating the bad guy at the end, you become the bad guy, and you kind of take over Rapture, I think. That's what it seemed like. Or you end up floating to the top, and you managed to kill everything else along with it, I do believe. I haven't played through to get the bad ending. I don't know if I might, but if you guys want to see it, let me know in the comments below. They're the most important thing to me, and I want to get you guys as interactive with this as I can, because this is a huge game for me. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys want to see the bad ending. Next up is a neutral ending, and I do believe it's if you harvest a little sister, you sort of get this not really good ending, but not really bad ending. It's just more like a disappointing type ending, and that's all I'll mention with that. Maybe somebody can clarify in the comments, and that'll be another thing that I want you guys to help me out with. Anybody who's played this before, give us any sort of helpful hints with that without ruining anything. No spoilers. Just kind of give us any sort of tips that would help anybody out there that wants to get that ending can do so at their choosing. So by process of elimination, you guys probably know what I'm going to do, and for those of you that still don't, I'm planning on doing the good ending, which means that I am rescuing these little sisters. Why am I doing that? I'm going to have to keep that a mystery for now, but you guys will find out hopefully soon enough. So yeah, that's what I plan on doing. I also have to mention that if you do rescue the little sisters, you do get a bit more, a few cooler items than you would if you were to harvest them, but they're really not all that different. I kind of want to go over real quick about the way that you sort of fight. You start off with a wrench, iconic to the Bioshock series, in case those of you that didn't know. But you end up collecting more items as you go along, picking up guns, pistols, machine guns, even grenade launchers and crossbows. You also collect a lot of other what they're called plasmas, which is just basically like some energy you can shoot out of your hands, or mystical powers that just kind of come out of nowhere. But I'm not going to ruin how exactly they came about with that. That's going to be explained later on throughout the story, so yeah, I won't do that. I'm not going to spoil it for those that haven't played it yet. But also, if you have not played it yet, go and play it yourself. That way you know what to expect from this. And then come back, and if there's anything you missed, this will help you out that way. But I would like for anyone who has not played it yet to do so, because I absolutely ruined my chance playing any of these games for the first time, or any game at all, and it didn't feel the same to me. Like, I didn't have that same experience that I would playing through it, after knowing what's going to happen. So, just, yeah, let you guys know out there. Go play it yourself. If you've already played it, don't ruin it for anybody else. It would just, it would suck. Absolutely. It just makes you look bad if you do that. So, with that in mind, at this point, you guys know what my plans are. You've kind of heard a little bit about everything. So, for those that don't mind sticking around for what's next, you can go and skip to the next video. And like I said, leave me those comments. Most importantly, you can go ahead and like and dislike the videos. I'm not really too bothered by that. And subscribe if you feel this helped you out in any way. Once again, not bothered. The most important thing I worry about is the comments, because I like getting feedback from people. But if you decide to do all that as well, like or dislike the video or subscribe, that certainly is a nice bonus. So I'll give you guys a chance that are going to plan on moving on to the next video to do so right now. Alright, for those of you curious enough to stick around, I kind of want to go over one more thing, and that is going through the cast members, letting you guys know about the voice actors or actresses and their characters that they're playing, because I feel like this is the most important thing. There was nobody that I recognized throughout this, but if you recognize these people from any other games or whatever the case may be, that's cool, and that's why I want to inform you. Starting off, though, we have the man who created Rapture, Andrew Ryan, and we wouldn't have him without the possibility of the voice of Armin Shimmerman. Yeah, he actually created the voice for Andrew Ryan in this game. After that, we have Frank Fontaine, who for those of you that don't know, is kind of a bad dude in this game, and we end up having to get to him with the help of Atlas, who ends up helping us out in the beginning. There is no voice actor for Atlas, but he does have a voice, so that's kind of weird. That didn't show up on the IMDb page, which is what I looked it up as. So, yeah. Like I said before, we wouldn't have the voice of Frank Fontaine without Greg Baldwin, who, actually, as it turns out, Fontaine is quite an iconic character as well throughout this franchise. After that, we have after that, we have the man who can create art out of human bodies, literally. I don't mean that as sort of a any other meaning. That's literal, and that's why I think that if anybody made fun of him, you should probably be afraid as much as I am, because that's exactly what he do to you. Anybody he hates that makes fun of his art or whatever the case may be, he will not tear you into little pieces. No, he's going to put you in plaster and attach you to a piece of his artwork or whatever the case may be, because he's just that freaking nuts and awesome. His character's name is Sander Cohen, and we wouldn't have his madness without the voice of T. Ryder Smith. So, yeah, thanks, man, for creating such a strange and, once again, iconic character. That's kind of amazing. Next up, we have the Little Sisters, who are these cute but creepy little girls who carry Adam with them, and as I stated before, we can either save them or harvest them, whatever we may choose. And we wouldn't have those strange voiced little girls without the help of Juliet Landau. So thank you for that as well. After that, we have the sort of mother to the Little Sisters, Bridget Tenenbaum, who is she's not too bad in her own way, but the thing is, we don't really see her face except for in little parts. So there's that, I guess. But again, we wouldn't have her voice without the voice actress that goes by the name of Anne Bobby. And so that leaves us with one more, Dr. Yi Suchong, who, for those of you that don't know, like I said, all of these characters are iconic in their own way and they make the franchise, but he is the most important because he happens to be the scientist throughout all of this. He is the one that sort of came up with everything that is what it is, and he's kind of an asshole and nobody really likes him, to be honest. But much like everybody else, we wouldn't have this character as, as wildly voiced and, annoying as he is without the help of James Yagashi. Hopefully I'm saying that right, because I do apologize if I'm just stereotyping what it sounds like, but that's what it looks like to me from the IMDb page, and so, yeah, there's that. There's a full list, like I said, on the IMDb page, and I will leave that in the description so you guys can check that out for any other characters that you may recognize. But ultimately, this wouldn't be possible, these characters wouldn't be possible if it was not for the help of the man who came up with the ideas of creating such a world like this and such characters, Ken Levine. If it wasn't for Ken Levine, we wouldn't have such an amazing story that we had, and I most likely wouldn't be playing through this again, as well as playing through Infinite so many times now, at least my second or third time. So I want to thank him most importantly for creating such iconic characters. And whenever anybody talks about Bioshock or Bioshock Infinite, we know who to thank for that, because it's something that everybody talks about, and it's such an amazing story that you just find yourself going, let people know to play this game, because it needs to be experienced that way, rather than telling them about everything, just let them play it. So if it wasn't for Ken Levine's amazing writing and amazing ideas, we wouldn't have what we have now. As well as, like I said, if it wasn't for 2K publishing this game, I don't think would have had it at all. Maybe. I don't quite know. So yeah, I think that I have everything that I need to say out of the way. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and take a break and come back and start the game. So I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.